Is everybody excited? I know I am. You know why I'm excited? Because I'm excited to make money. And I know that that's a topic that everybody is partial to. So first of all, let me introduce myself. My name is, the name of the show is Big Irish J Grinding on the Bay, and my name is Jason, and I would like to welcome you all to my channel. And I will start off by saying that, by the end of this conversation, my first video, if you like what you hear and you like the content, hit that subscribe button, hit that notifications button, and, start learning how to make that extra money. Because, are you tired of, going to work all week and, by the end of the week you get your check and you're completely broke? I know I was. Are you tired of being out of work and, there's no income coming in and you don't know what to do? In the situation I'm in, I know I am. I mean, I'm in a wheelchair right now. I had, some surgery on my foot. I'm out of work. And, I had either one or two options to do. It was either lay down and give up or try to figure out a way to make some extra money. So, I kind of, was fiddling and faddling with my iPad, and I came across eBay, and, I was like, I could do this, and I just so happened to run into a couple dollars, and, so I set up my eBay account, and I set up my PayPal account, and, I ran out to this thrift store, and I bought all this stuff, and, there lied my first mistake. And I'm gonna give you the play-by-play, and the mistake is that I just started buying everything that I seen that I thought was going to sell or that I liked, stuff that appealed to me. And, just because it appeals to you doesn't mean that it's going to appeal to everybody or to somebody, else. So, you kind of got to get it out of the mind frame of, ooh, this looks pretty, let me buy this. This isn't going to sell, because that's not what really works. You have to put a lot of research and a lot of time and a lot of effort in to finding out how to do this eBay thing. And this is where I'm going to send out my first few shout outs. I will send out my first few shout outs, and these are the people that helped me be able to grow to where I'm at now, which isn't to where I would like to be, but I'm still making money. And my first shout out would be to Stephen Rakin. He has a show channel on YouTube, and his show is called Rakin Profit, which is it's an amazing show, and he has taught me a lot about selling on eBay, from what kind of things to pick up to what kind of how to take pictures. And he also runs a show called The Green Room, which is with a couple other people that I watch. Bonafide Hustler, shout out to Bonafide Hustler, and also a shout out to Rockstar Flipper. These are the guys that I started watching and I started learning from. And for me, that was the most important thing, is to just start learning, because in the beginning, I got really discouraged because I put things up online and things weren't selling. And, I went out and bought all these things, and I come to find out that in the beginning, the first 30 days, the rule for eBay really is that you're only supposed to be able to list 10 items. So I hit that wall first. That was the first wall that I hit. So, I could have took that either one or two ways. I could have laid down and just let it be, and, try to find out through all the stuff that I picked up what are the 10 best items to put up, and, which I did. And, I wasn't making any sales really, maybe one here or there. And, and then you think you can list another item, and you can't, because you can only list 10 items a month. So, instead of laying down, I got on the phone. I called eBay and I explained my situation. I explained, my everything about what was going on with me. And, I really only wanted them to up me maybe like, 20, 40 more items. And, a couple of minutes later, a gentleman gets back on the phone with me and he says, Mr. Wakefield, we have some good news. We upped you to 100 items that you can post on eBay. And I'm like, wow, that was like, that was like the best news in the world that I could have heard, because I had some things and, I started, every day just listing, it's very tedious work. You got to take pictures of everything, every angle, every nick, scratch, defect. Everything has to be notated, so this way when your customer gets the product, if there's a dent in it, they knew already from buying it that there was a dent in it. So, it can get tedious. And then you got to describe the items, and, you might have to do some research to find out, more about the item, and maybe some tags fell off the item, and, after you do the research, you got to find out the some of the code, some of the, SKU numbers and things like that. I mean, these are important things to have to put on an item. The more information you put on an item, the more your customer's going to know about it, and the easier it's going to be for them to hit that buy button. So just remember, it might be tedious, but it will be worth it at the end. When you first start out, you're not going to be able to hire no employees unless you have a girlfriend that's or somebody that's willing to sit down and do all this stuff for you, which, in all honesty, it's not their job to do it. You know what I mean? I mean, this is something that you're just going to have to do on your own. So, it's a good thing to learn. And the thing that I can't stress the most is the research part. You have to go on to YouTube. You're going to want to hit, how do I start an eBay business? And that's exactly what I put in. And that's when all these people started to pop up, and I started to watch them. And after a while, a lot of the stuff that they were saying started to make sense. So, I started, taking heed to some of the things that they were saying, like, how to take pictures, having backdrops, not just throwing a pair of pants on a floor and taking a picture, because, people don't want to see that. When somebody goes and they're going shopping, they don't want to buy a pair of pants that were thrown on the ground and a picture was taken of them. Some people just don't want that. They want it professionally, somewhat professional. So, these guys, had taught me how to take pictures, how to crop pictures, how to edit pictures to make things look better, and what kind of backgrounds to put them in. And, all of a sudden I started seeing sales, happening, and, and then I was up to I think maybe 80 to 90 items I finally got up. And, and then a friend of mine, she came by and she dropped off a bunch of stuff. So now I had more, but, it was like an amazing coincidence, because when she dropped off more, and then eBay, because of my sales and my customer service I was having with people, I had a good positive feedback from people. They upped me without me even asking to 250 items. So I was like, wow, I can list 250 items. My friend just dropped off a bunch of stuff. Let me look through this. When I looked through, and I found quite a few items that I was able to put up on eBay, and some sold, some didn't. There's some still sitting up on there now, but you can't get discouraged, because sometimes things sit up for a while, and, if they do sit up for too long, you got to start playing around with the numbers a little bit. And, I first want to say that PayPal takes their money off the top. eBay does not. And I thought eBay took their money off the top when you made a sale. So every time I was making these sales, I was thinking that I was all good. But then I come to find out I owed eBay like $100, And I was like, okay, so I had to pay them their money. I did it in 2 installments, and, they were very good about it with me. And, So basically, eBay takes 10%. PayPal, I forget the percentage they take, but it's very small. I think I sold a $55 item, and they charged me like $1.13. So the percentage on that wasn't high at all, and so. And then you got, every time you list an item, it costs you 30 cents, even to list the item. And these are all the things that you got to take account for when you start pricing things. You got to add all that stuff in there, make your price. And, it took me a while, but, after a while, they have two styles. They have a buy it now or an auction. I got out of the auction, pretty quick, because the auction, I wound up finding out that people were getting items that were worth, $6, $7, $8 items that people were getting for 99 cents. I'm not making no money. By the time eBay takes their money and PayPal takes their money, and you shipped it, how much money did you really make? So. You got to be very, very smart with, when you buy an item. You got to really know if you can make what you want to make off the item. So now what I do is I kind of I put a price on something, and I'll add in the shipping, and I'll put free shipping. So when people see free shipping, they get excited, because they're like, "Wow, I can buy an item and I ain't even got to pay shipping." But what they didn't realize is that I put the shipping into price already. So that's how you try to work out your eBay business a little bit better to work in your benefit, So I got my little tablet here because, I forget a lot of things that I talk about. And sometimes I rant and I rave and I get confused and, mixed up. But we'll get everything we need to talk about today. So in your first 30 days on eBay, like I told you, they're only going to allow you the 10 items, but don't let that discourage you. If you have to, call eBay, give them your story. They will help you. They will work with you. This is the thing. It's like a partnership. eBay wants to make money, and you want to make money. So you two people that want to make money, one is not going to be against another. If you have enough items to sell and you can put them up, and you can make money, then they're going to make money. So they're not going to stop you from upping you, to where you possibly want to be. You have to explain to them, they're going to ask you, and this is what they asked me, what is your plan and how do you see your business going? And that's what I told them. And, and it did, 2 minutes later, came right back, gave me a positive answer. So, I hit the ground running. I hit it hard. I watched a lot of shows, and my poor girlfriend had to indulge me on me watching all these shows, and I'm sure she was not super happy about it, but it was like research for me. This was really important to me. This is how the bread and butter is coming in. So it's like, going to school, so I'm going to school and, doing the job at the same time. It takes a lot of time and effort, but, I will say, ladies and gentlemen, if I can do it, you can do it, and not to say that I'm a stupid person. I'm a very intelligent person, but, there's just some things that you don't think that, I didn't think that I can do this, and I'm able to do it. And I'm very happy about that, So money does come in, not the way I would like it, but it does come in, okay? So, we covered that. You're going to want to spend a lot of your time doing research. Be careful in the beginning of being all over the place. You're going to want to find out what you're good at. You're going to want to find out your niche, what works for you, and you're going to want to go with that. That's what you're going to want to try to do. You're not going to want to try to go out and buy hundreds and hundreds of different kinds of items, because people do that, and it does work for them, but it doesn't work for everybody. You want to find out things that you're knowledgeable about, things that that how much this thing is worth, and how much it's going to be able to go for, and be knowledgeable about the items that you sell, and just try to be understanding. Let's see. See what I can say here next. Moving on to the next subject, customer service. Customer service is one of those things that I'm not the best at, but I had to learn real quick to be into customer service, because you are going to have people that you are going to take the time to package up something and ship it out, and you're going to think everything's all good, and then you're going to find out that this customer's unhappy with whatever they got, and you were going to have to bite the bullet, and you were going to have to you're basically going to have to give this customer the refund. And that's what eBay suggests you do, is just, if you can't work it out with the customer, just give them the refund, because you don't want that negative feedback on on your page, because when people go to buy, that's what they're looking at. They're looking at what kind of feedback you got, what kind of a seller you are. And as of right now, I have 100% positive feedback. So when people come and look at my page, they're going to say, well, yeah, I'll buy off this guy. He has 100% positive feedback, and the numbers go up as the longer you're on. So the longer you're on, the more you sell, the more positive feedback you get. And you also want to give your customers good positive feedback as buyers. That's the thing on eBay too. Good buyer, A+ buyer. You want to return the favor. They give you good feedback, you give them good feedback. And a couple things that I went through was like when I first started, I sent out a Narcotics Anonymous book, and I had clearly taken the pictures that this was a 6th edition Narcotics Anonymous book, and what happened was that somewhere I didn't see that it was listed as a special edition, special 1st edition Narcotics Anonymous book. So when the guy got the book, he was very upset. Now, I could have sat there and argued with this guy over and over about, it's right there in the picture, 6th edition, but it's also right there at the bottom of the page that said special edition. So, I had to bite the bullet on that one, and I basically, I cut my losses. I kind of figured out how much was it going to cost me to get this book back to me, how much was the book worth, how much did I pay for it, and basically what I did was I gave him the price that he paid for the book back, but I said, I'll keep the shipping, you keep the book. So I did a partial refund, and that worked out for him. He was happy. Sometimes you have to do that. It's just a part of the business. And the next thing was like, a friend of mine gave me, a controller. It didn't work, and I thought it did, and I had to bite the bullet on that one too, and. They immediately take the money right out of your PayPal account. eBay does, and you can go into the negative real quick if you don't have some sort of backup money. And I think it's very important to keep a certain amount of backup money on your PayPal card, so when things like this happen, it's not going to hit you too hard. And then we have another one, which was an item that I can't remember what it was, but basically the person tried to lie their way into getting money back plus keeping the item, and eBay found it to be in my favor because they do go over this stuff. So they found it to be in my favor, and the money immediately got put back into my account, and all worked out well. So, you win some, you lose some, and, but customer service is definitely one of those things you're really, 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 really going to have to get used to. And being angry at somebody and yelling and screaming is not going to give you good points with people, and they're going to leave you nasty feedback, and people are going to see that, and that's going to deter people from buying from you. So you're going to just want to, there's a gentleman I watch, Uberism81, which he does scrapping, but he also does eBay, and he explained it too. He said, as many times as I just want to reach through this computer sometimes and choke this customer to death because, I just know that the piece worked when I sent it out, and now they're saying that it's not. It's just because they don't want it, But you have to bite the bullet sometimes, So you're gonna win more than you lose. Trust me. I mean, I have. So I'm gonna end the show on that note. That was just the beginning of a little bit about my experience, and my experience so far. Things are going okay. They could be better, but I'm still learning, and that's the thing. It's all about research. You got to do research, and you got to put the effort in. This is an effort thing, but if you're a person that has a job and you want to make some extra money, it's a perfect thing to do because you don't have to be home while you're making money. Because it's going to come right over your phone that the money's coming in. Or you're a person that's stuck at home for whatever reason and money's not coming in, you can start a business like this and just, go with some things around your house. I did that. I, got some clothes that didn't fit me and threw it on there and sold, one of my shirts and, a few other items that were around the house that I just was never going to use again. And, I made money that way. So, a lot of people suggest that you start at home first and then find your niche from there. So, I really would like this business to grow, and I would like to partnership up with my girlfriend and her run the ladies side of the business and me run the men's side of the business. And that would be a great thing, for both of us. But it's whatever you're into, knowing your products is the most important thing. So on that note, I bid everybody a good night, and I hope, you like my content. And if you did, subscribe to my show. And every other day to every maybe 3 days, I'm going to put out some more content. And, just listen, pay a little bit of attention. And start out your business, and just like how I did, go onto YouTube and just listen to people and listen to what they have to say and their experiences, and what you pick up from that, you're going to be able to be successful, and you're going to learn how to make money. So with that, have a good night. My name is Big Irish J, and I'm out.